This is the self-inflating balloon experiment. So, by the title, straight away you know you're going to need a balloon which you can self-inflate. Now I'm going to use this round and yellow balloon because I like yellow, it's a nice colour. So that's the balloon I'm going to need. I need a small glass bottle. I'm going to use a glass bottle. I actually recommend any bottle. You don't need glass, so a small plastic bottle will be just as well. Okay, so I'm going to use a glass one. You're going to need some vinegar, and this is just ordinary household brown vinegar, malt vinegar. You're going to need a funnel, which the balloon can fit over the end there, and I'll show you that in a minute. And you're going to need some baking soda, also known as bicarbonate of soda or sodium bicarbonate. If you buy it from the shops, it's usually called baking soda. Now, can I say right away, be careful you don't buy baking powder, because it may not work in the same way, and it's a slightly different stuff. You need a spoon, and you're going to need something to use as a prodder. You'll see exactly why. This is just a little paintbrush, as you can see, and you're going to see what it's for. First of all, I'm going to put some vinegar in the bottle. Now, how much vinegar you need will depend on things like the size of the bottle, the shape of the bottle, perhaps. These are things you can find out for yourself. But initially, I'm going to put about that much vinegar in here, okay? So let's put it there. I'll try not to spill too much. And you could use the funnel, I suppose, but I think if you pour carefully, you shouldn't need the funnel. Okay, so not too bad. We'll try that first. So there's the vinegar. Remember to place the cap on, because vinegar's a smelly stuff when it starts spilling everywhere, apart from on your chips. So that's the vinegar. I'm just going to move this out of the way just for a second. And now I want to get the baking soda and put some baking soda in the balloon. Now, as you can probably appreciate, doing it this way will be a bit fiddly. It's always fiddly anyway, but I recommend using a funnel and then putting the end of the balloon over the funnel. It's still a bit fiddly, I think you'll agree, but put the balloon over the funnel like that, okay? Oops, try not to tear it with your nail. And then turn it upside down, look through, and you should be able to see down into it, which I can on this one just about. And then get some baking powder, baking soda, and pour some in. Now you'll notice I'm sprinkling it and giving it a bit of a shake. I've got a bit of a blockage now, so this is where the prodder comes in, and I'll prod it in with the prodder because I want it to go down into the balloon, of course. So give it a good prod, and when you've cleared the tube, you get some more. And what I want to do is put a good amount in so that at least half of the uninflated balloon is full of the powder. Okay, not too bad. Get a bit of a prod. Right, let's just test. Not bad, I think we're okay there. So quite a lot. I think you can, although you can't see inside the balloon, of course, but if I turn it where it is, it's mostly inside there. That's not bad. We'll try that amount, I think. Let's move that out of the way. Let's move this out of the way because I don't need my prodder anymore. Let's put that there. Now you need to carefully remove the balloon from the funnel. We don't need a funnel anymore, so we'll leave that there. Now, here's the fiddly bit, because what we've got to do now is fit this balloon over onto the opening of the bottle, but we don't want all the powder coming out just yet. So one way you can do this, and I'm sure you can think of some others, is the way I do it is make sure all the powder's where it needs to be in the bottom, twist the balloon like that, and without losing the twist, carefully, this is where maybe someone to help you might be handy here, is hold the end of the balloon over the bottle and put it down quite a long way because that's important. Now I'm going to untwist the balloon, and in so doing, he says, hopefully, shake it gently, the powder, into the vinegar below. Give it a bit of a shake. And already something interesting is beginning to happen. So, how does it work? Well, I think you've had some very good clues by watching this one alone, let alone the one you were doing. With a transparent bottle, we can see what was happening. When we tipped the balloon up, of course, all the powder, the baking soda that we put in there, dropped into the bottle, dropped into the vinegar, and a chemical reaction started between the two substances. They reacted together, and as they reacted together in a chemical reaction, they gave off gas. Now the gas they gave off to make all these thousands and thousands of tiny bubbles is carbon dioxide. And that carbon dioxide gas was being produced and foaming up, as you can see, beautifully foaming. And of course, even now we can see some of it. If you look carefully, you see some of it still moving. If I give it a bit of a shake, the reaction's still going on, but it looks, oh yes, definitely still going on. The reaction is making more and more bubbles, and the air, of course, the gas is being pushed up into the bottle, so the carbon dioxide is being pushed up through the bottle and into the balloon. In fact, if you can see, if I lift this up, look, nearly all the vinegar has been turned into foam. Of course, the vinegar's still there, it hasn't disappeared, it's in here somewhere, it's reacted, of course, in a chemical reaction, but it's been turned to foam, and it's all in here, and you can see in the bottle and the balloon. Now look just through the balloon, we can't quite see very clearly inside, but I hope you can just about see here. You can see lots of foam actually being pushed up into the balloon itself. So we can see the effect of the pressure pushing up of the gas. And I think you'll agree, we've got a pretty good sized balloon there now, haven't we? I'm not going to let go just yet. And we can see, look, the reaction is still going on. So what about other things you could try? Well, I'm sure your imagination's as good as mine, and I'm sure you'll think of lots of things, but here's a few ideas. How about trying different size bottles, for one thing? Maybe use a bottle which is much bigger or much smaller, if you can find one, that's one thing. How about trying different amounts of vinegar in the same bottle? That's worth thinking about, isn't it? So maybe fill it right up to here, for example, when you try it. Or, of course, much less vinegar, see what happens. How about trying different balloons? For example, over here, I have a long balloon. Do you think it'll still work with a long balloon? Or so many other shaped balloons that you can find. You'll notice, by the way, that we got some vinegar appearing here again. A minute ago we hardly had any, did we? And this is because as the bubbles are popping, of course the bubbles partly are made of vinegar as well. So as the bubbles pop, the vinegar that the bubble is made of just seeps back down and collects again in the bottom of the bottle. And you'll notice that even by now there's hardly any foam in the balloon. Remember a minute ago we could see lots of foam in here, hardly any in there now, so most of the foam the bubbles have popped, the gas is staying in the balloon, but the sides of the bubble, if you like, what the bubble are made of, are drained back down into the bottle and forming here.